Daikar Rao, CEO Nutri Hub, and Mr. Kuntal Sen Sharma, Economic Advisor MOFP, and Dr. Anant Ramakrishnan, Director NIFTAM. May I request all of you to kindly come to the dais. Yeah. Do we have one more chair? One more chair? Please, please. Yeah, yes. Yeah. May I also request Dr. B. Rajendra Rao, who is the Minister for Agriculture, Embassy of India, Rome, to kindly come on the dais. Thank you so much, sir. As India has very well showcased its importance and significance of millets as an agenda, and how millets can play a critical role in making the food basket of the world, and also helping the world to meet the need of nutritional in terms of malnutrition. And we certainly believe with the Prime Minister focus on millets and on Indian request, or the UN accept the request to win the International Year of Millets in 2023, we have a long way to go. And I'm sure under the leadership of Dr. Lekhi and Subha ma'am, as India, we are really going to push it a big way. Without taking more time, may I request Ms. Subha Thakur, Joint Secretary, Minister Agriculture Welfare, to come and give her opening remarks. Ma'am.
Thank you, Abhinav. Dignitaries on the dais and members in the audience. Keeping in view the International Year of Millets, so now we have begun the whole paraphernalia of leading up to the event. So this year is very important. So now we have to start building the momentum for the millet campaign. And what a better way to do it than to just talk about the nutritional benefits, the value chain. So all of you are going to play a very important role in that, the startups, the FPOs. And I hope that we have fruitful discussions today. And I look forward to hearing from all of you and learning a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shubha ma'am, for your opening remarks. May I now request Dr. Abhishek Lekhi to come and give his inaugural address.
No, it's not the time for inaugural address. I think, as Shubha has mentioned, the Livelihood Agriculture Festival section has already been launched. The FPOs and startups in millets are displaying their products and getting in touch with the markets, people, and those who are visiting the expo. I just have a short story. In the state of Odisha, in a place called Neamgiri Hills, there is a tribal community called Dongriya Corns. They've been living through ages, connecting with nature, community farming, etc., etc. But of late, with two entities rather, Government of India, of course, providing the enabling ecosystem, Government of Odisha having a very successful millets mission, and an NGO called Living Farms. They've all got together to help the Dongriya Corns to revive their age-old collection system of millet seeds. Mr. Daikar Rao will know more about that. I read about it somewhere and it really impacted me. And I think after a gap of almost 40 years, something was lost, and that was a variety of kodo millets, which they used to sort of farm, but ever since other kinds of farming happened, it was lost. So after 40 years, with the Odisha Millet Mission, with this NGO called Living Farms, and with the government of Odisha and government of India helping them, this variety has been sort of found out, rediscovered, so to say. So in this session that you're going to just be participants in, the idea is to see who are our stakeholders in this International Year of Millets 2023 that we are going to start celebrating from next year. What are the areas of concern that we need to address? And I think two themes that are being discussed today. One is nutritional and health benefits of millets, and second is how do you upscale millets by way of a value chain. So here comes in your role as startups, as farmer producer organizations. How do you connect those who do millet farming to markets, domestic or international? And I think before I end, the key point is not just to upscale, connect to markets, domestic or international, but also keep an inclusive approach. And by an inclusive approach, I mean also keep communities and tribal communities like the Dongria codes in the framework. So while we go to the market, we also have to see that our institutional policy frameworks are inclusive and take everybody along. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Likhi sir. I mean, you rightly put across how government is coming together and helping this community to build this sector, and this is a huge scope going forward. Now, with this, may I request Dr. Dayakar Raoji from CU Nutri Hub to give his presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody, especially respected Dr. Abhileksh, Shubha Madam, and other dignitaries, Dr. Rajendra P. Rajendra from FFO, Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan and Kuntal Sen Sharma, and Srinivas, and my dear startups and other FPOs who are gathered here. So I'm just going to quickly take you through this journey of millet value chain for nutrition security. As Abhileksh Saab rightly said, that it's very important, the biodiversity and conservation of the old varieties and reviving demand for millets for the benefit and livelihoods of the farmers as well as the nutrition security. Now, if you try to understand that the major nutrition challenges of this millennium are malnutrition, hunger and malnutrition, and about 3 million people suffer from undernutrition, and 50% of our population targeted groups, they go through this travail despite the various programs that which we brought in. So 2 billion people are overweight. This is a new thing that is coming under us, especially in India. We need to take, because they are obese, especially from the urban areas, and steadily increasing number in all countries in the world. So this is a very concern. There are 5 major things: childhood wasting, low birth weight, childhood stunting, childhood wasting, anemia, and diet related non-communicable diseases. Those are one of the major concern, and we are talking about anemia Mukt Bharat. And of course, our main focus is on the children of various categories. So the global metrics also shows that proportion of the disability adjusted life years contributed by non-communicable diseases. So we are zeroing down to the non-communicables in 1919 and 2020. The major, you can see that India occupies a very major concern for us, so where we need to address this thing, and other countries in Africa and other countries where it is well marked. Now, global nutrition targets concerning these various categories. So all these point out that we achieve 40% reduction in the number of children under 5 who are stunted and achieve 50% reduction. But we need to ensure that there is no increase in the child overweight and increasing the rate of breastfeed feeding. So these are some of the targets that we have. Now I am just trying to bring it to the global scenario, Indian scenario, to the food related issues. The reason behind increasing disease is high consumption of polished rice and wheat. So nutrition science says that until and unless we diversify our diet, unfortunately past for 50-60 years our concentration was on rice and wheat. That time it was needed. There are of course the new things that have come to whether deep fried foods or junk foods, what we call, but ultimately it's a lack of balanced diet. Now food-based strategies as an approach to meet nutritional targets. So I think I will directly connect to the millets. Cereals and grains, they not only provide more than 50% of the world's caloric food. So it means that the nutrient intake will be very high if you really target, because if you talk about small, maybe what you consume like spices and all the limited quantities, but in cereals, a direct intake of these things in a natural way, that would really benefit us. So that's the reason we are targeting the cereals and the Nutri cereals to take these things, because you know that they are rich sources of fiber, vitamins, minerals and phytochemicals. Lot of health benefits in regarding to that. Our Prime Minister ji, he himself was propagating this at various levels, and today what we are hearing from him as a brand ambassador to the world about the millets, Indian millets, Desi millets, and take it forward. So why millets are Nutri cereals? I think we have been listening to that, but millets, it's an approach for sustainable agriculture and healthy food. Food security wise, definitely, if climate change is going to be a big phenomena, we will have to bridge the gap, the unmet gap from the rice and wheat. And second thing is nutrition security. I have already emphasized that, and safety from diseases and economic security also, because 50% of the population, they thrive on the dry land cultivation, and these were ignored, I don't say ignored, but there has to be something, a very serious program addressing to them, and that's where the support for millets today, what we are moving from food security to the nutrition security. And we see that some of us may not have seen. Yesterday investors were talking about, we have never seen millets nor never heard of it, but then they are very happy to see that the various millets, major and minor millets. So major millets are 95% of the production, total production. The minor millets are about 5%, but they constitute a very important because they are the nutritional storehouses. So we need to really concentrate on this thing. The newly added one is the brown top millet. So brown top millet is again, it is almost close to quinoa in terms of the nutrition and all those things. So there are independent evangelists who are doing that. Now campaigning has to be built around, because millets, they are differently branded as poor man's crop. How you shift from the poor man's crop to the rich man? So the smart food is one good thing. It is good for us, good for the planet or the environment, and good for the small farmer. Now the startups are sitting here, they are also good for the business. So I think we need to go with this. Today, if you want to brand them and take them to the public, I think we need to have a proper thing. Now this is a comparison of from the Indian food composition tables put up by the NIN. You can see all, whether it's a fiber or whether it is a protein or whether it is in fact fat is not, but the energy values are also comparable with the wheat and rice. But most important thing is less carbohydrates and more of higher protein compared to rice and wheat. And when you talk about the other things, this is the beauty of this millets, especially ragi, 364 mg. It is twice more than 2 times of that of the milk that is available, calcium in millets compared to that of rice and wheat. So you can see rice is 7.5, wheat is 40. So similarly, if you take about the iron also, so I think it's a pearl millet, bajra, which has the highest iron content. So the biofortified varieties is another way where we can further or fortify these foods so that RDA levels can be met adequately in our especially mainstreaming millets in the public funded programs. Now when you talk about various vitamins that are B complex vitamins, they are quite rich. So nowhere you see wheat and rice has the highest count. I am not trying to demean that, but millets should find a place in our plate. That is my now this is very important thing that which we need to see, that the strength lies in the quality of the protein. The various amino acids that are present here are shown here, that and lysine is a limiting factor as that of in case of rice and wheat, most of the cereals are, but otherwise it is rich in all the amino acids. So nutritional in terms of the health benefits, they protects against heart disease, diabetes with low glycemic index, reduce constipation and improves the bone health. And there are series of benefits that are there. Of course, they are gluten-free grains. Celiac disease can be controlled over that, and a very good source of cereal diet that for those people who are suffering. When you talk about the production, of course, it is still quite a stable thing. 1967 to 68 and till today, despite the area loss of 20 million hectares, we are still stable. Now, if you talk why millet should be brought again, unique selling proposition of millets. So they are dryland crops. I said that low water, 300 mm to 400 mm water compared to 1200 mm water that is required for the thing, and they are short duration. They can fit in between two crops. We should give one irrigation, double the yield, climate resilience, and they have a potential for food, fodder, nutrition, health and other things. I told about the Nutri side, demand side. So an attempt was made in 2007-8 to build a value chain around that, trying to integrate from farmers to consumers under the National Agriculture Innovation Project funded by the World Bank, and bringing all those things. Then the situation was very tough though, so we brought the integrated, identified the components which are gaps that are existing on farm production, because they throw the seed in the farm and then go for the harvest. How you can bring a commercial color to that. Second one is value addition, how you can bring in through the machinery development, shelf life and nutritional evaluation. The data has to be there. We cannot talk in the air like our grandma has taken this thing, but today's context, FSSI related issues, all has to be addressed. Entrepreneurship development, after developing all these things, taken to the public, promotional campaigning and popularization and commercialization. The first brand that which we branded is Eat Right, registered primarily to see build in a commercial brand. On backward integration, especially with the ITC, we have taken up in 2008 for 5 years, and then we found that how the incomes can be enhanced. They saw the money in this, and then they started growing, and ITC were procuring the grain, and then farm gate value addition was accrued. Commercial color was established to this thing, and they started, the impact was they started shifting from the marginal lands to the commercial better lands. So there was a demand reaction. In 5 years we saw that the most critical component that comes is that or MOP component, that is what millet based value added product technology. There was apart from flour nothing was there. How to diversify? No machines that were there. So we came up with some of the machinery that are there, and primary processing and secondary. Today all the processing technologies are developed and upscaled, and then they are ready. Now we have built up a startup facility at Indian Institute of Millet Research, and many of our partners from CFTR and IFTM, they are all working very intensively. So we are ready with this establishment of Center of Excellence by Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare was one of those very important component that made us to build lots of recipes and diversification of the plants. Now if you compare today's context, you can see all the processed diversified right from the initial just milling to plant-based proteins, the new advanced technologies that are there, and the nano starch and the express foods and instant mixes, all these products are available in the market. So technology is ready by various institutes, and we are poised to take this through the world to the next year. But then we need to see how this startup, the last mile connectivity can take these things. Now one important thing is, when you talk about the Nutri cereals, through processing we should ensure that these things are not lost. This especially the nutrition. So we concentrated on those technologies where the nutritional losses are minimum, so that the Nutri cereal world may be completely once again we can go for that. So various protection. This is a very big job. So one of the important thing that for the minor millets is dehulling, because these are small grains and outer seed coat is you know that it is not non-edible. So we need to remove the out of coat. So dehulling is one of those machineries. These are some of the machineries that are available in the market by various people. Retrofitting is being done, but we need to do very specialized work in this regard, so that because challenges are many. One grain is little millet has single coat, kodo millet has 7 coats. So that's the way we need to take those things with a single machine or the two types of machine, because if you go to Madhya Pradesh, Kodo and Kutki exist side by side. So we need to have an integrated machine. So there are many things that are strategic decisions that has to take. We were working on the milling and try to bring in various particle size, because if you sell it in the form of the flour, the gluten is a problem. So if you make it in a semolina of various size, then you can go for various, whether it is dalia, upma, idli or so. So we have really conquered the inconvenience part is taken away from this thing, the cold extrusion. So here again the denaturation of protein takes place. They are made as highly digestible and bioavailability is increased. So the children can take these products, and this is one of the best technology apart from that extrusion, because currently all extruded product, most of the child ICDS programs, they have wheat based and rice based hot extruded or cold extruded products. So we are just working with the industry, trying to bring in various products and the technologies. And puffing, this is one of the premium products, where flaking is another one. So you can name types of products that can be available and try to see their in nutritional profiling also. So the technologies are available, technology transfer is being made, and then so that we can bring in convenience to the people. Now this is one of the latest things. There's one millet called Proso millet has 15 to 17% of the protein. So what a gain that which we can, that is in the germplasm we are working on that. So end products, once you isolate, we are ready with this market also, protein based market. So protein based meat market, because millets has low lysine, while currently used protein base is by pulses, where they have a methionine as a deficient factor. So if you integrate these two, where the deficiency, the marriage can happen, a quality protein that can coexist. So bringing this integration is one of the important thing. We are working with various ICR institutes, bringing in integrated products like mushroom, meat, poultry and many other things. So we have initiated something. So because the new markets that are emerging are needed by the startups to take up. So we are just working on that. Now these are some of the pictures of the upscaled machinery that are there. We started with the small machines. I invite all of you, those who have not come, please come and see. These are startup facilities. They can use it for 1.5 years. We will provide them and then take things forward. And you can see that milling machines, and nowhere in the world you will find these machines. They are fine tuned for the milling, for the millets. So various processing machines and recipes, of course, now international recipes also. Now just quickly to tell you that nutritional evaluation we did with the help of NIN, and then brought out how it is important for the reducing the glycosylated hemoglobin in case of by giving 50% of the sorghum. Now this is published data. So we started that way, we worked on glycemic index and glycemic load, HACCP compliance, FSSI compliance, and so that these things can help startups, those who take up, and it's published data. This data can be used for labeling your information. All the startups can use. So how good it is for, because in today's context, everything has to be in numbers and published data. So there are so many evangelists who keep telling, but until and unless you have a published data, then you cannot really prove the point. And whether it is diabetes management, meta-analysis is done. Now lots of literature is available to prove that they are very good for that, because the low glycemic index, as well as looking into that. See, yesterday Dr. Ramakrishna was also talking about the foxtail and barnyard millets. They are low, less than 55, intermediate 55 to 69. So we see that identify the products, but when you change the processing technology, again this will vary. Now hypertension, I don't want to take, because even obesity also, there are papers which have conducted. So we are to some extent much better than, but more studies need to come, whether it is even the colon cancer or many other type of cancer. The foxtail millet proved to be a better one. Cardiovascular diseases, and you can see that how they improve the serum triglycerides also. So quite a bit of literature is being now reviewed and all that. The latest thing is the gut health. How this is a home base for the bacteria in your digestive tract. So when they help you to break down the food and turn nutrients into the things that a body can use. So the new science that is developing around using the resistant starch that is present in this thing, so that the beneficial effect for our gut ecosystem, especially useful for the infants. So work is going on that, where medical institutions are also onto the job. And probiotic foods, this again is a new thing. In fermented milk drink in Boza, I consumed over 80,000 years. 8,000 years as an immune booster. The new immunity regime that what people are talking about, millets could be a very ideal proposition, and that's what we need to take it to the world. This message, especially post-COVID, it's a business of our startups as well as the health of the startups and others, rural and urban areas tend to improving primarily because of the nutritious products that are available. Now there is a lot of change in terms of the non-alcoholic fatty acid disease. And when it comes to the fourth intervention was the commercialization. There were no brands, so we registered a brand. Now today we see many brands, about 500 brands that have come up in the market, which can take it forward, because one of the biggest challenges is that when the international market is there next year, whether these people can cater to that. So the scaling up is needed, and hand holding is one of the crucial thing that is needed. These are the products that which we started commercializing under Eat-Right brand to begin with, but later now I see beautiful brands coming up. Literature is very important. We continue to do the programs like this. We were doing it for the past 10 years now, marathons, cyclothons, but it has to be scaled up. Some of the cities in the southern states have happened, but it should go in a pan-India and beyond the country borders, and various sensitization across the country was very important thing. And entrepreneurship development, at least about 10 states, about the 30,000 entrepreneurs were trained under this entrepreneurship development program, hands-on experience, so that they can take this technology, especially SSG groups and others are very important. So Cooking with Millets is one of the programs that which we take up, startup people, startup ignition, and our framework, we work on all the 360-degree with, that trying to build up the startups, our core programs, because startups have become the Nutri hub, which is a technology business incubator. The last mile connectivity is building. Two programs, N-Grain, both are supported by RKV by Raftar, and Nest is for the agripreneurship. So 5 lakhs and 25 lakhs respectively for those people who are beginning and those who are already in the market for. So we need to increase that particular 20 people are given every year, because a lot of rush is coming, especially the millet entrepreneur. Can we increase? I think my request to the Agriculture Ministry is to please consider this request, because we see for the last batch, 5th batch, for selecting 20 people, we got 200 startups there. So you will have to straight away reject because of this. Some sort of a grant in aid brings a lot of, so our international partners and linkages are very important today. How we take it forward with the ministries and public institutes, private institutes, SSGs, corporate connect is also equally important. I think millets, they have introduced some of those in the corporate factor, and our policies are also by the government to mainstream. And I just want to conclude saying that replicating these successful value chains, model developed promoting entrepreneurship in millet tray and mainstreaming millets in public funded programs. Millet promotion has to be percolated to various states and districts to the grassroots level, and technology backstopping by major institutes should take up. Roping in private sector for inclusive investment will go a long way in taking a pan-India, but also mainstreaming in export markets as a run-up to the International Year of Millets. So of course these are programs that are being implemented thanks to ministry that they are taking up in a very aggressive way. Now for the onset of the International Year of Millets, we are ready to lead the world by sharing best practices, technologies, goodness of millets, and establish value chain experience with other countries. So India is the millet hub of the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dekar Rao. I mean, that was quite a, yeah. So, I mean, we had a very good presentation from Dr. Dekar Rao about the nutritional benefits of the millets. So, does any of the participants have any questions with Dr. Rao you want to clarify, or any other experts you want him to answer? I mean, any question from the audience? I mean, anything. I mean, we have an expert right here in front of us. I mean, you will not get any better from it than he can give you. I mean, yeah, sure.
Good evening, sir. Doctor, this is Jay here. So, a lot of research work has been done, and is it possible that we can get some of this research work and then we can actually get this published in mainstream newspapers, articles, etc.? Is that a plan that we can expect from either the Agri department or from IIMR?
Definitely, we can go ahead. Part of the research results were already passed on and published, but a popular literature like a newspaper and all those things would be an option that which we can take for the benefit of the larger populace.
Thank you, Doctor.
Any other question to Dr. Dekarov from the audience? Yeah, okay, great.
Sir, thank you. And we did this first train talks where you actually did an opening talk. Seed availability for farmers is a very big challenge, and we keep getting requests. So I would like you to elaborate a little bit on the N grain. Is it related to the seed supply? Or?
So, N grain and seed, you mean to say grain or?
The seed for the farmers. Sir.
Oh, that is different. N grain is for the seed support, infusing the funds for the seed support.
Oh, sorry,
no,
sorry.
if
Sir.
you want that clarification, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation with IMR's technical support, they have established 19 seed hubs. And the breeder seed production is also now much, much better. 3 years ago, it was really just in a very bad shape. Dr. Rajendra knew that how things were, in fact, formulating certain things. Now they have come to fruition, and the demand and supply to some extent, that was a major issue. What was the demand and how? Now it is growing very big. So that seed availability constraint has been resolved to a greater extent today, and miles to go before we sleep.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Madam, aap
Okay, sure, okay. So any other question from the participants? Yeah, okay, thank you so much, Dr. Dekarov. That was a wonderful presentation, and I'm sure a lot many participants and other players from the world are going to reach out to you through Indian Institute of Millet Research. With this, now may I kindly request Mr. Kuntal Sen Sharma, Economic Director MOFPI, to give his presentation on Indian Food Processing Policy Framework by MOFPI. As we all know, MOFPI is the brainchild and have been supporting a lot of startups in the food processing sector to scale the up value addition and also into making mark in the global market. Over to you, Kuntal sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have been asked to speak on the policy framework for food processing for all items, including millet-based products. Now, our ministry had provided 3 major suggestions to the Union Ministry of Finance for this year's budget making. 2 of them have been accepted and has been included as part of the Honorable Finance Minister's budget speech. One was in the context of the International Year of Millets for 2023. Based on our 2 major programmatic interventions, one is the production-linked incentive scheme and the formalization of micro-enterprises scheme, we had suggested for product development, brand building, etc., support and necessary policy environment should be created, and that has been included as part of the budget speech. And second one was with regard to development of processable varieties. We all know in India, fruits and vegetables, India is the 2nd largest producer. However, the processable varieties are lacking. So in consultation with state governments, various research institutions like ICAR, in the Ministry of Agriculture and other state agencies, there is a need to develop processable varieties because our level of processing in the fruits and vegetables continues to be very low despite all the interventions that the government has been taking. So, I don't want to go through the status of the food processing landscape here because we are basically talking about the processing situation. One thing is very clear that India is urbanizing very fast, and over the next 10 years or so, the urban landscape will change, and along with that there is a change in the consumer preferences for food, both towards processed food, towards health, superfoods, nutraceuticals, including millet-based products. So here also there is a lot of scope for incentivizing this sector. In fact, this also I will skip. Again, this gives a broad position about India in the different agricultural produce. We are number 1 in milk, number 2 in fish, rice, wheat, cereals, fruits and vegetables. And enough policy environment has been created by the government to make it conducive for investors and entrepreneurs to come in. So this also gives individual sector-wise opportunities. So I won't dwell much on this. We have created huge amount of infrastructure through our interventions. We have created nearly 350 cold chain projects. We have around 68 agro-processing clusters or mini food parks. We have also approved 41 mega food parks with all facilities for processing post-harvest infrastructure. And also we are supporting food testing laboratories. The food testing laboratories actually in a sense helps also to meet the requirement of exports, meeting the standards of various countries. So we have already approved 175, out of which around 118 have been completed. However, despite all these measures, what has been pointed out is that the harvest and post-harvest losses has been significant. There was a study by ICAR CPET Institute, Ludhiana, which quantified that around 92,000 crores worth of crops are wasted through harvest and post-harvest losses. So the preservation and processing capacity needs to be constantly improved. However, still we have a lot to go, particularly on perishables. On fruits, we have around 3%. On vegetables, we have around 4.5% processing capacity. Milk, we have around 21%. In dairy, fish, we have around 15%. So it clearly shows that compared to the best international positions, we are lagging behind. So the ministry is, through its schematic interventions, like, as I mentioned, the integrated cold chain, value addition infrastructure, unit scheme, Operation Green Scheme, food testing laboratories, research and development, and agro-processing clusters is trying to address them. And lastly, these two major interventions which has been taken during 2020-21 as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat. One, as I was mentioning, was the micro food processing enterprise formalization scheme. We have nearly 2.5 million micro enterprises which are informal, which needs to be upgraded, which needs to be supported to become formal. And for that, we are giving credit support, we are giving capacity building support, and it is being implemented on a one district, one product basis. And 18 such districts has been picked up for millet, because millet is the theme today. So I should highlight that this was one of the area for which we had suggested to the Union Finance Ministry also that this segment needs to be incentivized further. Similarly, the production-linked incentive scheme is actually being implemented for incentivizing sales and investment in 4 different categories. One is the ready-to-eat, ready-to-cook food, including millet-based products. One is the processed fruits and vegetables. One is marine products, which is one of our major export sector. And one is mozzarella cheese, because that sector is also growing very fast. So again, this was another area where which we have highlighted for taking forward the millet-based progress in the segment. So that is what I would, had to say. Now I will hand over to my colleague, director from National Institute of Food Technology and Entrepreneurship Management in Tanjavur, who will be speaking on the technical aspects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kuntal sir, for your words and for making also about the Ministry of Food Policy and incentives. And we all know without processing, the agriculture sector cannot grow, and it goes hand to hand. And you laid down the inclusive approach of the Ministry of Food Processing Industry, how they are supporting and handholding the entire sector to promote themselves, to develop themselves and market also to the world. And with MOFI support, we would be able to establish India as a food basket to the world. Thank you so much, Kuntal sir. With this now, we have Dr. Ananta Ramakrishnan, Director IFT, He will be talking today on upscaling of the millets value chain and role of FPOs. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kundal sir. Actually, sir has given some brief about Ministry of Food Processing Industry, what are the schemes we are operating in our ministry. Now I am going to give about millet food business ecosystem and especially looked into the India and as well as global perspective. Look at India, we are world number 1 and 2 most of the agriculture commodities, and we have beaten the Brazil for fruits and vegetable and grains. Yesterday, madam was telling about 380 million tons of the food grains we produce. Marine, we reached the world number 2. But still, we are not done much in the world business. Fruits and vegetable, we are doing only 1.2%, vegetable 1.6%, and something is spices, we are doing 17%. This is what our Kundar sir has mentioned about continuously last 5 years, Ministry of Food Processing Industry is doing a wonderful job, more than 10% growth rate we achieved, and because of FDI, we are getting the huge money is coming to the Indian food processing sector. This the KPMG data was released last year, May. $263 billion worth of the size of the market size going to be a $535 billion size market. I don't think so any other segment in our country is going to be predicted double the size of the market size in the 5 years time. And this segment has the 98% comes in the micro and medium industry. That is the key element what we are looking into that. And this is the one more slide Ministry of Commerce has released that during the COVID period of one industry not shown negative growth is the food industry. Not only that, it is beaten all the predictions. We increase the ready-to-eat, ready-to-cook product business is more than 35%. You can talk to any ITC or any of the people who are involved in the ready-to-eat, ready-to-cook product. They know that how the business is gone beyond their reach. Because of people at home, they wanted a convenience food and ready to eat, ready to type of foods. That's what is growing. One more slide also, I can give the status of how the food processing industries is moving on that. The world total share of the value added product, India is right now, the share is 31%. But look at the Germany is 72% and China is 52%. We may move to that directions. That's what the prediction, what we are thinking about to do that. Right now we are trading is the mostly more than 50% the raw food and semi-processed food is like 19%. But we may move to this directions. That's what $535 billion has been predicted in the total market size, and the micro and medium industries are 25 lakh. Yesterday also Kundal mentioned about that. We need to bring into the formalized manner. If you go to Delhi or Bombay or Chennai, we can see the n number of bakery units, milling units all, but it is not the formalized one. So we need to bring into the formalized form, then we can give a lot of technical support, credit linkage. They don't know how to penetrate into the market. That is the huge challenge. Even our institute, we develop more than 100 plus entrepreneurs or startups, but still they are tied up to the only our local market. They are unable to penetrate larger market. What is the clutch there? That's what I'm going to talk about that. One is that consumer preference. I'll give a small example. 2017, the whole Europe imported biscuit worth is $3.5 billion. Out of which India's contribution is 1.2 million, not even 1%. We produce 100 million tons of the wheat, 270 lakh tons of the sugar. We are unable to put both the things together to make a biscuit. Why? We are not understand what is the European consumers wanted the biscuit. What is the legal requirements, regulation requirements, the packaging, films. This is the what looks. Earlier, 100 years back, we taken the food for energy. 50 years back, we have taken for the nutrition. Now we are taking food for soul. 20 years back, we are thinking the carbonated beverage is nowhere in the market after 20 years. But today it is still selling. The people, we know the cigarette. We know it's not good for us, but still people are taking. Why? They want to enjoy. Food also become like that. People wanted to take the food, they wanted to enjoy. And the customization, it is nowhere the single kitchen concept is gone. Parents need something, son needs something, kids need something. The customization and the personalized nutrition, and then ethical food choice. I am following the government regulations, everything. But I want, when I buy the product, that company has to follow the same thing. Is it they follow the carbon footprint regulations, no child labor, fair trade? Then I will buy. 45% of the population in the US, recent studies told, we wanted to buy such type of products. So things are going around different status in the market. Once you to understand what is happening in the market, then you launch the product, yes, then you can succeed. That's what you can make it your brand trust. That's the key element to succeed in the market. This is the very recent data in the US population that gives very clear statistics. 82% populations in 2016 wants clean and natural ingredients. It switched over to the 86%. 24% in 2016, their low price product they preferred. Now it is gone to 17%. The only decline is price. So people wanted to pay more money to buy good product. So millet, we have to think in this one pricing. Another one is natural claims, and all the ingredient as much as possible you need to bring into the label. That is the key element for today's marketing of any products. So this is the statistics for the US again. 56% of the population wanted to buy the superfoods, starting from non-dairy milk, green tea, all the things. Hemp, you know very well. We don't know the scientific data. Still, people are telling if I take the hemp, I'm getting the pleasure. Maybe the ratio of omega-3 and omega-6, but I'm not going for detail about hemp or chia seeds. But our millet is placed in the superfoods. Now, how to brand our millet when we are celebrating the year of millets, how to create, making the superfoods. That's what I'm going to talk about another maybe 10 minutes. Already Dayagara has covered most of the things you think about. Folic acid, 42%, 4.2 times higher than the rice, and then calcium, magnesium, iron, everything it is there. And we have scientific document as well. It is a soluble micro and macro nutrients are available on millets. But where is the issue? We are not talking about issue. I'm going to talk about that. And these are the health benefits. All the things, the low GI, yes. Our institute, we have the Center of Excellence in the Glycemic Studies. One of the second world artificial human digestive system is set up in our Niftam Tanjavur. We are studying the not only glycemic index studies, disintegration kinetics, what is happening in the oral, what is happening in the stomach, what is happening in the intestine, in the large intestine as well. So we have studied all the millets, and we have characterized the millets, how it is impact on the digestibility. And it's clearly demonstrated is a low GI. Some of the millets, but not all the millets. But oats has been branded as the diabetic foods. Why not our millets at the 52 GI can be branded as that? That's what we have to think. And again, weaning foods, the baby foods. This is the best food for the weaning foods. But still we are not used to millet such an extent in the weaning foods. And again, Dayara what said about artificial meat. You know that 2009 started the Beyond Meat, signed the MOU with now contract with the PepsiCo, recently launched the KFC artificial meat. The protein texturization is the key element for the artificial meat. Compared to pulse, millet protein easy to texturize. We are doing the artificial meat in our institute. That's what we experience the better product go for the meat. So if you see the value chain from the production, primary processing, and secondary processing, that is a value addition. One more value chain, I added the packaging, then apart from the local market and export market. Each and every component of the value chain, we have the issues in the millet that we need to accept. We are not addressed till date. So slowly we need to take up one by one. Last 10 years, thanks to IMR and CFTRI or Niftam Tanjavur, we could able to address so many issues. But still, a lot of things to be done, mainly for the production. Again, once you made the product, storage is the big issue. You look at any of our major company in India, they wanted to get into the millet business, they taken back. Because after 6 months, storage is the big issue. You are the producers, startups, you know that what is the issue. Any product, shelf-life is such a tricky, nobody wanted to put their money into that. That we need to address because rancidity problem is there. Second one is the primary processing, milling. Just now there I have shown the milling equipment. We don't have the milling like a rice milling, totally automized. From end to end, without any man involved, automation we are not done. We have to do that. Why we are unable to do that? Rice is the shape, size, density is similar from across the variety. But millet is not like that. Size, shape, not only that, coat is changing with respect to different millet. So how to change that one with respect to that? That's a huge challenge that we need to address. The packaging, how many layers we have to do, we don't know that. And which is the packaging suits for the storage, we don't know. Cocoon is help, we don't know that. So this problem has to be addressed. And the marketing export, we failed both the area. So we will discuss a little bit later and look at 40% of the whole millet, what production the globe is from India. But we are not done much trade. 9 billion to 12 billion is a product projected, but some of the areas, like if you look at now gaining the Europe and American market, and apart from that, Nepal and UAE, Saudi Arabia is the major importer of millet from us. Is it enough? This population of these three countries is a very small. So we are talking about that. We need to target bigger market, and we need to promote our millet into that market. Then we need to pump our product. That's what the one example what I said. We are unable to even sell our biscuit to the European market. How we are going to sell our millet? That is the clear. So we need a proper strategy to take our millet product into the such a big market. And this I don't want to go very detailed about all the things. One thing is sure. Yes, millet can solve food security as well as nutritional security of our country, and is the really better product than the rice and wheat. Yes, earlier days, 50 years back, we wanted to give the energy, and we need to solve our malnourishment and all the problems. We encourage rice and wheat. But the stage has come for us to make another product into the market, that is the millet. But we need to address all the things. One by one, we can go for that. One is that, what are the products in the market in the global level? Look at, these are the products dominant, makes the money in the global market. First is the fodder, mainly for the animal feed. US, whatever the production of the most of the millets goes for the animal feed. That makes the huge money. Apart from that, first one you take out. Second is the breakfast food. Third one is the bakery. Fourth is the beverages. Fifth is the infant and all other products. And maybe you are the entrepreneurs are there. How many of you there in the 4 and 5? But that is the makes huge money. We need to think how to capitalize. I'm adding 6. Definitely artificial meat, vegan milk is the future. So we have to concentrate which is the gap in the market. Such product we have to develop, and we need to reach out the market. And these are the product you may be aware of. Some of you are already sitting here. Like if you go for the like a health powder, so ITC has produced, and other products are there. And the confectionery, so many products, and the breakfast, and then extruded products. These are the products already in the market, either pure millet or mixed with the other wheat and other products. And some more products like even Biscuit Sar is there from Trichy. They are making the products in the different millets they are adding. And again, other products is there. But which is the products makes the money, what I given the data, that you can look at, I will give the reference also, that weaning foods as well as beverages. One thing in the food business you have to remember, selling the water, selling the air, you can make the money. That means if you go for the beverages, you are selling the water. You make the millet milk, along with the solids, you are selling the water. So such type of product you need to identify, you need to put it into the market. And this is the product developed by us, because you know that recently he was their Apida director. His son is doing the unicorn. He has become a very quickly unicorn. He developed the chewing gum, released the nutraceuticals from the mouth. 3 years back he visited us, and he developed that product. He's the selling, now that company is valued more than 300 crore. The nutraceutical market in India is the one of the key element, is growing very, very rapid. 18% growth rate in our country. Outside country it's only 6 to 8%. So that's what we thought, why not we'll take this nutrient and make the candy like a polo type candy. That equipment also developed by us. And we have done a lot of extruded product in our institute, and from the ranging from the all the pasta, noodles, everything we can do. But it's a good, but only thing the temperature and modification, the extrusion line. So still we are not have the proper extrusion. Bueller maybe the better extrusion, but the cost of that extrusion, because minimum itself 500 kg per hour. Our millet, our raw material and processing of 500 kg per hour, it's not that easy. But the local manufacturer extrusion problem is heating. You may be aware of that, what is happening in the heating. That much heat comes around 80 to 90 degree. What will happen to your protein and micronutrient? That we are not aware. Just we are telling about what is the micronutrient available in the product. After making product, how much nutrient we are retained into that. That's what we are also working at, the cold extrusion and other things. The puffing, this machine has been developed by us, transfer the so many companies, is puffs with the temperature, high temperatures. This also we transferred. And one of the other technology is the food 3D printing. Niftam Tanjore is made first indigenous food 3D printer in our India, and we brought first scientific articles, and we developed the printer. This is the clearly printing the millet products, snacks. We can go for the proteins plus fiber, whatever the shape and size you want. This is going to be a future. This is the miniature of the food industry come to your kitchen. Whatever the shape you want, what is the protein you want, anything, you can print it at home. That's what we are developing that products. And we developed the millet ice cream, purely from millet. And we are not added anything, even that we explained to Honorable Prime Minister during the Krishi Unnati Mela 2018. And it's a very good amount. I said earlier, selling business is what? Selling the water and air. Here, both are there. Easily you can make it a good amount of the profit from that. But issue is, again lies with the storage of the millet. You convert as the millet powder, again problem. Convert as the millet milk, again problem. And other product also we made, one is the dry idli powder. Just you put the hot water, any millet you can make the idli dosa mix. Just already we transfer this technology to Achi Masala. It is a third of this technology. Another technology recently we developed the Nutri bar. Maybe Yoga bar is already dominated. What we wanted to go for the energy. We wanted to cross 450 kilocalorie of energy from protein 12%, 14% fiber, and energy of 450 kilocalories. And we develop this product very soon. We are going to give this product to the Tamil Nadu school children. 40 lakhs children we are going to give this product. We are going to test blood sample from the 6-month study, whole study. We wanted to see that how this millets bringing the life of kids. Because breakfast we are not introduced in our country, so we wanted to do that. And other millet powder that can be converted, reliable film also we made. And packaging, this is the one issue. We have to work more, either IMR and CFTR and NIFTAM Tanjore has to work. We tried some of the things, ethylene vinyl alcohol, we tried this type of film, but we are not able to store more than 6 months. We have to accept our whatever the capabilities. Second one is rigid packaging is the only soluble way or can give better solution, but cost of the packaging goes high. So product is cheap, then packaging goes high, it never works in the business. Then composite containers, nano packaging films, if you increase the layer by layer. So once you increase the 3 layer to 4 layer, price will go up, who will buy? Already millet products are pricing is people are thinking is high. Then increase the packaging film, it's not going to work out. And cocoon, this is the what we tried in our institute. A different millet product we put in the cocoon. It's stored for 6 months, it works well. But after 6 months, even cocoon is not helping us to increase the shelf life of the millets. And these are the entrepreneurs have come out from our institute. Till date, 121 entrepreneurs have come. And these are the people, exclusive millet entrepreneurs have come out from our institute. We are supporting continuously for farmers producers organization and all. So I'll come to finally, what is the constraints what we are facing? The main issue is we are talking poor man's crop. See, we are talking about Tata. Yes, Tata has done very well in some of the segment. But one segment, you know, that nano car. They told this is for poor man's car. But Indians, we are aspirant, become ambitious people we are. We don't want to buy the poor man's car. We wanted to buy a rich car. So that is the what, when you wanted to place your product, we should not use the poor. So that's what we need to stop this one. So whatever it is, already is penetrated in the minds of the people, we need to take out that one. This is the rich man food. That's what we need to rebrand. And low cultivation, because they are not getting the returns, then cultivation automatically goes down. And urbanization, because of our kids are getting lot of other foods, westernized food or things, but how to penetrate into their minds. Because 30% of the products sold in the market, in the supermarket, in the metros, their eyesight where it is going, what is the color they likes. That's what we need to analyze, either using the big data analysis or ANN, so we can solve that one. And rice and wheat is our direct opponent or culprit for the millets. So how to stop? We are giving 100% MSP to the rice and wheat. Until unless government has to take some policy decisions, it is difficult to fight with the rice and wheat. Because farmers are given very clear stand, yes, whatever you cultivate, we'll buy. When we are giving the same type of cushion to the millets, yes, it's possible. And ecosystem has to be improved, whatever I said. And mainly, we need to improve the farming technology. All the pre-harvest rice, whatever is totally mechanized. Like that, we need to go for that. And primary processing, secondary processing has to be improved. And technologies, what we are talking about, all the technology, packaging technologies, the product, and the self-life, nutrition, evaluation, everything has to be done. And marketing strategies. If someone comes directly to our institute, they make the product, they wanted to send it to Dubai or the Singapore. No, first you give to your home. Let 5 people out of that 3 people has to like your product. Then you go for street, then go for the district. That's what market strategy should be. You can't jump into the directly to that. You need to understand how market is biggest. So that's what they need to see that, and awareness. We need to do it is all of us the responsibility. When year of millets, we need to make people out to understand it has the good amount of nutrient. And marketing, I'm not going for detail about that, mainly for the pricing. When your pricing is the key element, you price more. Even though very less people buy, also don't worry about. You make it your product's premium product. That is the key element. Instead of selling 5 rupees less and more people sell 5 rupees more. That is the key element for millet. We need to play around. And then branding and marketing. Yes, you make it a very high-end packaging, and how you are making the labeling. Put all the things possibly. If GI is low, put it the GI. And disintegration kinetics, you have the data, put it there. What are the important you need to convey to the customers? You need to put it everything in the labeling. Now people want all the ingredient, whatever you are doing, everything should be there into that. And the government schemes, already Sir has mentioned about that. Ministry of Food Processing Industry, we are supporting through the R&D. Already 14 project has been supported under this, including the storage and different value-added product under the MOP R&D scheme. And PMFME scheme, ODOP scheme, under that also we are supporting. PLI scheme we are supporting. And 10 states, 19 district has been selected as the millet as the ODOP. And this is the states and the 19 district we need to take first round when next year we are going to take up the year of millet. End-to-end solution has to come to this state, including the production, storage, marketing, all the capacity building, training has to be. First, we'll target about these 19 districts. We'll make these people to get more penetration to the local market as well as international market. Then we can think about remaining district. That's what we have to think the strategically what we are going for the future. And Ministry of Food Processing Industry already is given the 59 incubation center, and throughout the country, some of the incubation center in the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, exclusive incubation center for the millets. And also PLI scheme, and we discussed about, Sir has mentioned about millets, and even 10% in the noodles, if you add the millet, you get the incentives from the government. That's what now still we are working to reduce some of the extent, and myself, Dayagar Rao and all, we have sat more than a month to bring this level, but still industry want to reduce that 30% in the flour and the 20%. So we are working out how best we can bring, and please use these facilities. You can add the millet when you are exporting, you get the incentives with respect to how much your incentives you are doing it. And the end, you wanted to make it a value-added product. First is that premium product. You have to make it your product really premium. That's what it has to come from your mindset and the packaging, where you are placing your product. That is the key element. Don't compromise the small revenue what you are getting initial stage. Go for the bigger malls, keep it there. That's what is important. The focus on export. 41% we are producing the world millet, but our export is very, very less. Not even 10% of the whole trade. So we need to increase that export. That means what is the customer preference? We need to understand, and price volatility market strategy, what I mentioned, we need to work out, and cluster approach has to be done. Both farmers producers organization, cooperatives and self-help group has to be integrated. Then government and non-government and all together they have to work, and mainly research organizations like IMR, IFPT or NIFTAM Tanjavur or CFT area has to work together, because lot of problem is still existent in the millet processing. So we have to solve that one, then only can be possible. For example, if you make it a millet products for more than 12 months shelf life, yes, then you can jump into that business easily. But we are not able, we are putting everybody is putting 8 months, 12 months. Everybody understand what is the shelf life of that millets. So that, the rancidity problem, milling problem, everything has to be sorted out. Then we can make it India as a world food factory. That is the dream of everyone's in our country. Hope with the support of everyone we can make it, this will happen. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan. That was a very, very insightful presentation of the millets value chain. And before that, I will say, how do you get this kind of energy level and enthusiasm? I'm sure all of us are motivated with the presentation. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And any audience, any question with Anand Ramakrishnan? I mean, that was really a fantastic and wonderful presentation, sir. Any question to the sir? To sir? Yeah, sure.
So you had mentioned about the subsidy or something which the 10% and 25%. How do we go about understanding that further, the millet content?
Yes, sir. Like that
yeah,
is
that one.
comes under the 10% noodles and pasta, 20% for breakfast cereal, because that's what most of you are preparing that, and 30% for the multigrain atta and other flour, and 20% for the ready to cook product.
Okay.
This, if you make the product, you are exporting into the any countries, and every year you are investing the how much amount you are investing. The 10% of the your export you can claim it from this. Correct, sir? You can claim it from our Ministry of Food Processing Industry. Last year, EOI, we called it, we have not got much applicant from our country. So that's what a lot of company already wrote to ministry. They wanted to reduce that percentage of that. But we felt if it is lower than 30%, that is not a millet, no, that is again you are giving the wheat and rice. That's what myself, Dayagarao, and all the people when we fixing this, we are committee members. So we fixed it that one, but still we wanted to promote our Indian industry. So very soon revised guideline is going to come.
So, but sir, we want to increase this. We don't want to decrease.
That's what we want.
Because this doesn't make sense if we don't give millets more than this percent.
You know it, Dayagarao doesn't want even 50, less than 50%.
Exactly, that's my point. Yeah,
but
50% should be there.
Yeah, but problem is that palatability and other things. Initial stage, you need to encourage our industry to
No,
come
palatability
forward.
can come, sir.
Yes,
I am doing it myself in my house. Then why can't it happen?
No, large scale industry and other things, they look both the way. See, you have one side, your production level is this much. Okay, then you are going for the large industry, and also we discussed with the large industry and we fixed it.
Okay.
But still, you are doing it good. Please apply under that. Government want to really support millet processing industry. Our problem is branding and marketing. Under the PLI scheme, if you keep your product in the any shelves in the suppose UAE, the self charge 50% subsidy will be given. Whatever the money you are spending for the branding and marketing, that also is given. No applicants are very less for the branding and marketing.
We will come soon, sir.
Yeah, please, anything is there, please contact our Ayush is there and Gaurav is there and Sar is there, Ministry of Food Processing Industry, and our website, all the details we given.
Thank you very much.
No, this is for the startups also, small industry also can come. Yes, sir.
I think
And
that
apart from that, one more category is there, innovative products. You make any innovative product, you can still come under that class apart from your millet itself.
In fact, I would just add one small thing. I had mentioned that about the budget announcement.
yes.
So the budget announcement was basically based on the PLI scheme only, and how to incentivize it further. So we need more clarity from the Ministry of Finance also in this respect, because they have primarily focused on product development, branding, etc. for millet-based products. So we have an existing PLI scheme under which the norms he had just mentioned.
Yes.
So we expect that if we have to take forward this as part of the International Year of Millet, and in fact I would like to mention that here a significant thing is that any budget announcement has a number of ministries involved. And in this particular, and one ministry is made the leading ministry or the coordinating ministry for that activity. So in this case, it is the Ministry of Food Processing Industries who will be the leading coordinating ministry on the subject, and other ministries including Agriculture and Cooperation and Family Welfare will be supporting us. So we need more clarity. There is a webinar at the level of the Honorable Prime Minister, which is happening on 22nd, when this subject will also be deliberated. Industry leaders will be coming, research institutions will be joining. Our Dr. Ananta Ramakrishnan will be also making a presentation. So we hope that some more clarity will come after that, and maybe we can give a little more focused, and certain changes may follow after that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So we all know who we need to approach, Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan and Minister of Food Processing, Kuntal Sen Sharma, sir. Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, just a second. Srini?
No, I'm okay.
Sir, any ideas to reduce GST for millet-based cookies, etc.?
I look after the taxation part also in the ministry. So far as GST, you know that it's GST Council, where the states are very much apart. So it's a more of a consensus approach. So whenever we get any industry feedback, whether it is from an individual company or our industry associations like FICCI, CII, etc., we examine it, and normally in most cases we support the views of the industry. But it happens that there are other stakeholders also, because we are only one among the entire scheme of things. So whenever Department of Revenue, they are the nodal ministry so far as GST is concerned. So we always suggest to our industry bodies that whenever you give a representation, you also take it up appropriately at the level of finance minister also, and urge upon, because now this has become a very critical subject, given that the next year will be treated as the International Year of Millets. So whoever is involved should give representations both at our ministry and to the Ministry of Finance, Department of Revenue specifically, so that they can take it up to the GST Council. Because without that consensus in that council, no changes in GST rates is possible. So far as customs duties, etc. are concerned, that is within our hand, we can make a forceful suggestion. But GST is more of a consensus basis. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Presentation, I think this point has to go.
Fine, sir. Thank you so much. Anything is that? Oh, please, sir.
I have a couple of questions. Sir, you were mentioning in one of the slides that I think in these minor millets, there are lots of challenges like color, texture, and all these things. You are saying that needs to be fixed. Correct? You are saying that needs to be addressed. Sir, I'm on behalf of all the startups, I'm saying that is the biggest concern for the startups, because that is immediately impacting the customer dissatisfaction. Okay, because when we make products out of that, and when these changes, and when the customer feels that the color or the texture or the taste varies, then that immediately brings down the customer satisfaction index for all the startups. So that is the most critical thing from the startup's point of view. So you are saying that needs to be fixed. So who has to fix it, and by when, sir?
So we are working on that, because you know that beaning smell will come after, because if you are not steaming, that smell you can't avoid in the later stage of the processing, because the temperature induced, and then we have the both component of the fiber and carbohydrate proteins. This makes a little bit tricky on that, and we know that some of the digestive problems, and then all the things we are working, and we have the sensory school of sensory science we started. We are making the different composition, different milling. Even we are working with the Novozyme enzymes, and we have taken that particular enzymes for the millet. Along with that, we use that enzymes for milling purpose. So some extent it's reduced, sir, but not the extent what you are thinking. That is the one issue still we are unable to address. Even that Dagara will say dark chocolate. Again, we discuss something. We fight each other some of the points. Dagara will say always dark chocolate. How the
It is the private industry, they made the darkest beautiful.
yeah, that's what you can brand it like that.
Once it gets into their hands,
But sir,
coming with PLI scheme and all those things, advertisement.
you see, sir, that's what I'm telling. It is the all how individual perceptions are nowadays. Like we have the clear data. We made the virtual marketing in our institute. If you personally you enter that, you put the different pack of millet product. I like some product. My son will like something. Another students will like. We can't get even 50% uniform. So our mindset is entirely changed, influenced with so many factors. So in that scenario, how to place our millet? Even you may be confused. Is the black color is the better color for your product, or the white? India, black and white may not be like, but Western countries, if you put the pure black with the light yellow or blue, people like it. So how to put it all these things? This is, you need put it a ANI type of big data analysis. That and all we need to work out, sir. Otherwise, simply you make something, ask people to buy, it's never going to work out. You need a...
Let me tell you, the advanced research also brings in the change of the color also. Ragi, now you get white ragi.
Yes.
So similarly, many advanced research that is going with the crop improvement program of the government. India through IMR, but I feel that you are talking about antioxidants as, that the colors that contains as antioxidants, which is a health component of it. How to make it palatable, I think the researchers must be able to give some solution to them. We defend them, color private industry will decide.
Yes, sir. That's what we are tried with the steaming, sir. It works better before milling. Steaming works better, but not for all the millets. Some of the studies we have done, maybe you can reach out our institute for your particular product. We can give the solutions, and I can give you some another warning also. Now rice, we are talking about culprit for us, but very soon rice is going to be a better nutrition than the our millet. It's going to come. Already it is the FRK. Fortified rice kernel already government of India wanted to introduce and already started the pilot scale.
Rice cannot be a dryland crop, sir.
It may be, but you can't change overnight people mindset switching your rice to the your millet. So we have to make it a little bit cautious about that. So already government has the two way of approaching. So millet is a natural soluble nutrient. It gives better. No, nothing has come close to that. Once again, thank you so much. Anything is there, please let us know. We'll try to help you. And even PMFME scheme also you can apply. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think two things made very clear in the presentation today, that a lot of startups are not aware of the PLI scheme. I think we need to promote government schemes. And secondly, from FICCI, we had made this representation this year in the budget that for promoting the millet sector in India, we need to cut down the tax rate, right? So that the profit can be, lower cost can be made to the available to the consumer. Because when you try to make a millet snacks, say for example anything namkeen, the cost of maida is much lower than the cost of millets, right? So if you lower down that GST on that, the lower will the cost for acquisition for the consumer. So that was the proposal made to Ministry of Food Processing Industry. But even then it got included in the PLI in some other way to promote it in interest forum. Thank you so much, Dr. Anant Ramakrishnan. Sir, thank you so much. Now with this, we move to the next chapter where we're going to have some experience sharing by the millets. Since the time running short, I would like you to be a little more brief, and I don't know how many startups are here. So I'm going to invite you one by one, and whoever is present here, I request them to, I have the list, Okay, you already take it. Okay, may I now request Ruchika Bhuvalika from Urban Monk Private Limited? Yeah, please, Ruchika, please. I mean, Priya, we can go to the main backdrop, just, Do you
have some PPT or something?
No, this is, just talk.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dayakar Rao, to call us here and give us such a good information on millets. And definitely we need government support and everybody's other support, people who are in millets, so that we can bring about a lot of awareness among the people, which is the main problem here, because we don't have that market around us, because people doesn't know how to make millets, what to do with millets. So that awareness, we need the government's help so that we can cater to those demands then when it comes in the market. So we are ready with the products, we are there with the knowledge, but we need the market. So with the government support, when they can do the awareness among the whole country, then we can build the market together and take the millets all around the world. Thank you so much, everybody.
Ruchika. Now, may I like to invite Mr. Jay Kumar from Jaikas Food Private Limited?
So, good evening. You can see me, I came running, so I'm also having millets. Could you all hear me? Yeah. So, thank you very much, sir, Dayakar sir, FICCI, and the government of India for having organized such a wonderful event for us here. We were representing India. It was very proud. For almost about 15-20 days, I was telling everybody that we are a team of people, delegates going from India, representing India for the millet. So they were asking, what is that? This being the thing, I have sent out all the videos from here. They are all so proud of us, and we are all representing India over here in Dubai. The next time we are wanting to be in the Gulf Food, sir, you all should support us, that there should be an India pavilion for us there, earmarked for all the startups, so that we will, because see, we have all spent our own money and we are here now. Just imagine if suppose something with our effort and with your support, if we can able to get something in Gulf Food, it will be amazing. We can nail it. and we can make India proud also. This is my opinion. I think
No,
most
no,
of
that's
us-
a very fair idea, and I think we should work on this.
Yes, we should collaboratively work.
Sure,
We'll have
sure.
more engagements. Make it like a family. See, many people in body, but one in mind. If we are able to catch that, I think we'll be rocking. And millets is something that we wanted to take it for the whole world, actually. It would be amazing. So basically, we are into a lot of other things that we have been doing. Affordable food and with good nutrients. This is the stuff that we want to take it. So I hope I've conveyed what I wanted to tell, and thank you, everybody. We rocked it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaykumar. Now I may request Mr. K.V. Sivaramakrishnan from Blistry, Welcome Agro. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Dignitaries from the ministry, Dr. Dayakar, Anand Ramakrishnan, my fellow entrepreneurs, happy evening to you all. It's indeed a great privilege and an honor. I am humbled by the experience, and I have to thank Team FICCI. So this is the first time when a small and medium enterprise like us from a Tier 2 town was given a great opportunity to represent our great country in an international platform. So my journey started as a third generation rice miller. We got into millet milling 5 years back, then started value adding products slowly as per the customer requirement. For us, the great change came when our products were accepted in the United States. This happened because we were able to access the market, the data from there, or what the customer want, because we had some linkages there. So that was possible, and we are slowly growing there, and we are pretty confident our product is going to do well there. The same thing has to happen to all the startups for the different markets. For example, if we have to sell a product to the German, we have to go to Germany, learn from their chefs how to make a cookie where we can really satisfy a German customer with our raw material. I don't think it is possible for us to learn making a cookie which can satisfy a German customer sitting back at home. I think FICCI and all the scientific community who have been backing up phenomenally us till now, like IIMR and NIFTM, should take this forward, and where we are properly and scientifically trained to develop newer products to cater to a specific market and give it such platforms like Gulf Food or attend Anuga, so that we have access to them, where we can take this superfood in the international manner, where our products are truly accepted, not only for the nutritional value, but for the taste. See, the wellness is long forgotten. It is the taste which brings the customers back. So I am sure with this in mind, FICCI and all the scientific community should help us making our product truly international, so that we cater international customers in a far better manner. I am absolutely humbled with the experience, and we are here to learn more and serve more. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much for sharing the experience, and we're sure going to do something about the Gulf Food and the Anuga experience for startups. Now may I request Mr. Gandhi Santosh Kumar from Dr. Millets Agro Industry Private Limited to share his success story.
A glorious good evening to all. I am very thankful to Mr. Dayakar and FICCI. Like I am a startup, like a Dr. Millets Agro Industries Private Limited. I am very much interested in millet. Why? Because there is a number of health issues, and we need to overcome these things. Millet is only the solution for future generations. Each and everyone is like ignoring in these, like we are in very fast life. That is also one of the main reason we are ignoring our health, and we are eating whatever we want, we are going to eat. But this is not a right way to eat. Only the millet is only the solution for future generations and for us also. So we are going to keep like, so there is a very big milestone for 2023 declared as a, UNO declared as a millet year. So to work for this, to achieve that goal, to achieve the milestones, we are going to work together to make sure that success, we are in one platform. This is a very biggest platform to learn more things. I am hopefully thank to all, and we are going to reach that milestone, 2023 milestone, very soon. Thanking you.
Thank you so much. Now may I request Mr. Vishalakshmi Vayalla from Minkan Agro Industries to share her success story with all of us. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. And since all of us are startups, I would like to explain about two things that we are doing at Millet Bank. And one is that the very purpose why I started Millet Bank was to just help our family farmers in Chittoor, Kuppam. It's close to Tamil Nadu. Actually, it's a millet and pulses base. I've grown into that culture. So a couple of things that I've noticed, the challenges at the farmer level. Number one is the seed availability. So the saved seeds which farmers used to keep and then use it as a seed it doesn't exist anymore because the entire crop diversity has gone. So the second one is dry add that ground, which actually they use it for the post harvest technologies. And earlier there were like these huge rocks where my mother and grandmother used to clean millets, but now if you see during the harvest season, they'll put it like the kilometers of the tar roads where the vehicles will go, and a huge food contamination. And then even the Sortex machine that you use, German technology, whatever technology, still there will be some stones and people eat, and then they'll complain, they'll leave the millets. And the third is huge nutrition issue within the farming communities. And I'm very, very sad to say that the kind of physical work is needed at the farm, they are not able to cope up. And I have seen, even in my own family farmers, they're drinking alcohol and getting into the farm just to work. And this is one of the saddest thing that I have seen. And that really moved me, like, why can't our family farmers also be very, very healthy and nutritious? And the fourth one, there's so many women who actually, men migrated to the cities. And there's so many women in the villages who doesn't have any livelihood. They can make such a nice muruku or mixture, some small kind of foods, and then they need some kind of a livelihood. So what we need to work at the village level is to provide that kind of integrated system where they can all get benefited, not only the farmers, micro entrepreneurs, and the rural artisans. My mother used to get a lot of these baskets made by our artisans, and they told, when I went home last year, one of our craftsperson who used to supply the baskets for us, he was telling, Amma, there is nobody came to me for the last 10 years. You're the one who is coming and asking to make gampalu for us, and we are so happy. So we need to have that kind of integrated ecosystem, and all the startups, please focus on helping the farmers in this level. We all are here to make business. Without business, we can't sustain. We're also focusing on making business, but at the end of the day, if we can make that system, that ecosystem at a very grassroots level stronger, then the impact will be much larger and much more inclusive. So this is my request. So we are actually coming up with a integrated farmer field center. I have actually did a small experiment with our own agricultural shed, but that is not sustainable at one place. We need to make this kind of farmer field centers at the locations where a lot of tribal women and a lot of the small and marginal farmers are there. So I will share that document with you, what we are trying to do, and I would look forward to partner with all of you. And definitely we need a lot of support from the government officials, and Dayakar Rao sir has been very, very kind, and whenever I asked Dayakar Rao sir, you speak to our farmers, he was happy to did a inaugural talk. We created a platform called First Train Talks to solve the seed issues. So I look forward for all your support and encouragement. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, may I request, we have some of the FPOs also amongst with us, and may I request who is representing here from the Kalsubai Millets FPC?
गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी। मैं नीलिमा महाराष्ट्र से हूँ। करसुबई मिलेट्स ये हमारा ब्रांड नेम है। करसुबई ये महाराष्ट्र का सबसे हाईएस्ट वेस्टर्न नॉर्दर्न वेस्टर्न घाट जो बोला जाता है उसका सबसे हाईएस्ट पीक है। सबसे पहले मैं सर को बोलना चाहूँगी कि सर मिलेट इज़ नॉट पुअर मैन्स क्रॉप बट इट्स हेल्दी मैन्स क्रॉप। बिकॉज ट्राइबल लोग इसको खाते हैं, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रहते। 1646 फीट करसुबई का हाइट है। वो कितना भी 50-50 kg लेके ऊपर जाते हैं, नीचे आते दो बार, हम एक बार भी नहीं जा सकते। हम ये कहेंगे कि मिलेट इज़ हेल्दी मैन्स क्रॉप। हमारा जो करसुबई मिलेट्स का अबाउट 10 years बिफोर हमने उसके ऊपर काम करना शुरू किया, क्योंकि एज अ रिसर्चर एंड राइटर आई वॉज देयर एंड फाउंड दैट मतलब साल भर में सिर्फ एक ही क्रॉप लेते हैं जो बारिश के मौसम में आता है, वो राइस और कुछ मिलेट्स जो हिल स्लोप्स पे लेते हैं। तो उनको अच्छा दाम नहीं मिल रहा था क्योंकि मार्केट में उसका कुछ वैल्यू नहीं था, डिमांड नहीं थी। मार्केट में डिमांड क्यों नहीं थी? क्योंकि हम लोग खा नहीं रहे मिलेट्स को। तो ये सब उल्टा शुरू हुआ था। तो इसके कारण मिलेट्स फार्म से भी गायब हो गया। तो हमारे प्लेट से भी गायब हो गया। तो इसके कारण वो जो फार्मर्स हैं वहाँ के, उनके डाइट में से भी ये जा चुका था। तो थैंक्स टू इंडियन गवर्नमेंट दैट दे स्टार्टेड मिलेट मिशन एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट लॉट्स ऑफ अवेयरनेस इज़ देयर। और अवेयरनेस के कारण हमारा काम थोड़ा इजी हो गया, क्योंकि हम लोग बहुत स्ट्रगलिंग कर रहे थे मिलेट्स को कैसे हमारे प्लेट तक लाए। तो इससे हमारा काम थोड़ा आसान हो गया। अभी हम IMR के सपोर्ट से अभी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। हमारे टोटल 52 प्रोडक्ट्स है, अराउंड 250 वीमेन फार्मर रजिस्टर्ड है और 250 अदर फार्मर्स भी है जिनके साथ में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। ये स्मॉल मार्जिनल फार्मर्स है। Supporting millet and all that things is directly support to that marginal farmers and supporting environment, because millet हमारा फूड हेरिटेज फूड है और वो उन्हीं लोगों ने बचा के रखा है। तो हमें उन्हें भी कंसिडर करना चाहिए। मतलब ये फार्मर्स ही है जो हम तक ये सब लेके आए हैं, नहीं तो हमने सीड कब से छोड़ दिया था, मिलेट क्रॉपिंग करना भी कब से छोड़ दिया था। तो हमें इनको ज़्यादा मैं चाहूँगी कि इनको ज़्यादा सपोर्ट मिले। हमारे जो करसुबई मिलेट के प्रोडक्ट है बहुत हेल्दी और न्यूट्रिशनस प्रोडक्ट है, जिसमें हमने कुकीज़ भी बनाए हैं जो लोगों के टेस्ट को अच्छा लगता है, वो भी प्रोडक्ट बनाए, नूडल्स भी बनाए हैं। लेकिन ये सब चीज़ें जो हमने बनाई है वो हमारी जो महिलाएं हैं उनका जो अच्छे से अच्छा नॉलेज है उसके अंदर से, उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके हमने ये प्रोडक्ट डेवलप किए हैं। तो इसमें लोकल फ्लेवर भी है, घर की जो चीज़ें वो भी सब चीज़ें है। तो ये सब चीज़ें हमें ब्रांडिंग में हम बहुत लैक कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि मार्केटिंग तो ठीक है, मतलब अभी बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है क्योंकि मिलेट अवेयरनेस बढ़ गया है। लेकिन आज का ये प्रॉब्लम है कि लोग टेस्ट लेके या दिमाग से नहीं खाते, वो आँख से खाते हैं। ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, ऐसा मुझे लगता है, शायद आप लोगों को नहीं लगता होगा। लेकिन ये ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग के लिए FPOs को बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्टिंग की ज़रूरत है। जितना ज़्यादा सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं हम, FPOs बहुत अच्छा इसमें काम कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. Now may I request Halsur Mahila Kisan Millet Producer Cooperative Limited from Karnataka to share their success story with us.
Hi, warm good evening, dignitaries from the ministries and my all the entrepreneurs and my friends. I'm Mr. Dayanand from Ulsur Mahila Producer Company, Millets Company from Karnataka. Actually, first of all, I would like to thank the ministry, Minister Agriculture Ministry, and our Indian Institute of Millet Research Center for giving a great opportunity uh, for all the to all the FUs to to give the regarding the millets, to produce the millets opportunities. So actually, in our, I would like to express a thing about our FUs. Actually, in our FU, we uh, uh, we have a millet processor unit and raw millet. Actually, in that it is actually with the help of this, so many farmers they are getting a lot of a lot of help for this processor uh, po- because previously the millets are not processing at our area, so that are sent to, they are easily actually the market, they are not getting good market for the millets. So nowadays, so our farmers are getting we are in our FAO, we are processing the millets and they are converting into the products, I mean in the form of required manner products. So that is very helpful for farmers, because we and one more thing is like we are giving importance of health to our farmers, especially we are concentrating the end users from our village, not like our village and our country, because end user the millets should you we are giving the we are stressing on the values of millets, especially the health benefits of millets to all the our what do you call our peoples. So and we are stressing especially by means we are educating our farmers and all the peoples of our area regarding millets, and we are trying to like our end user should be from our area. So because the the millets are not only the seeds, I can stress the millets are not seeds, millets are medicines, millets are medicine, because medicine our millets, what is as our doctor expressed, millet is having all type of the thing out the like all the required benefits, like health benefits, things health benefits, what do you call the contents are there. So these are like carbohydrates, proteins, minerals, and especially like glycoside, secondary metabolites like glycosides, alkaloids, flavonoids. So because what is a medicine contains these things only. So like all the from ayurvedic products, they will extract these things uh, and they are come into market to prove that our product is having this medicinal value. So like that, so I can stress the millet is a medicine, so because it contain all the required things to cure or to prevent the disease, like especially all type the positive millets, they are very helpful for especially like we can helpful for all the everyone. And actually for our farmers, so we are helping with for the as I told, like not only farmers, all the peoples of our area, we are educating about millets with. And one more thing, like how like how we can bring the millets into a market in a large in a like how to attract the millets in market, like we can say I can tell my view, like 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 as I was Dr. Krishnan expressed that all the millets companies are coming into nutraceuticals. So why can't the millets, no, like special millets, like in nutraceutical, there are two types of nutraceuticals are there. One is what is I can say the one that proves claiming the medicinal value. So that is non-claiming the medicinal value. Like that's a food. One is food. One is you can say medicine. So we can do a small what you call the research. I mean, we can select a doctor, a group of any doctors, and we can prove our millet it have a medicinal value, and we can make a report, and then we can publish into our any literatures or anything, and if possible, the same report we can submit to regulatory authority, and we can register a product as a millet based product as a medicine as well, medicinal value. We can claim this drug, we can that having a big what you call data is required, but for food products, Indian government like in FSSAI, I mean food safety and the standards authority will not ask more data. We can give only the like how the millets that particular millet having a that what you call medicinal value or the therapeutic indication. So with that we can prove our drug our millet as a medicine, and we can launch in a larger manner to all the like US, Europe. They want, because in US, Europe and other country they want the data, they want the research published literature. So we can prove in some areas like we need to prepare a protocol for that, and we can launch our millet product as a medicine, as a, like nutraceutical medicine in US and Europe market as well. So
thank you so much. I think we are running over time, and
thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank
and,
you so much.
Special thanks to Dr. Dayakar Rao.
Yeah.
That's giving lots of help to all the farmers and for regarding FUs. Thank you, sir.
Now may I request representative from Hal Chalit Millets FPC, and request it will be more crisp and short. I mean, just tried. I mean, we have overrun the time, but it's already there with you, the pen drive?
Yeah, I gave.
Okay. In the meanwhile, you can start if you want to say something. Okay, Divya, please coordinate.
पुरस्कार। पहला पुरस्कार बेस्ट एमर्जिंग एफपीओ, उभरता हुआ एफपीओ, हल चलित महिला किसान विमेन प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी लिमिटेड मध्य प्रदेश। इस पुरस्कार को लेने के लिए आमंत्रित करती हूँ मिस आदित्य धिंडोरी को। यह एफपीओ आईसीएआर और इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मिलेट रिसर्च द्वारा दिंडोरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट मध्य प्रदेश में बना और भारतीय सरकार के स्वस्थ अनाज स्वास्थ्य सुरक्षा मिशन के अंतर्गत यह विशेष रूप से महिलाओं के लिए है और 600 महिलाएं इस एफपीओ से जुड़ी हैं।
सभी को नमस्ते, मेरे नाम कमली मसराम है। मेरे समूह का नाम विश्वेंद्र दल स्व सहायता समूह ग्राम मतरिया से जुड़ी हूँ। हल चलित महिला किसान कंपनी में शेयर होल्डर हूँ, जिसमें इस कंपनी से जुड़ के मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, क्योंकि इस कंपनी से समय में खाद बीज दवा उपलब्ध हो जाती है। उसके साथ साथ हमको विधिवत उसकी जानकारी पूरी किस तरीके से उसको डालना है समय के अनुसार, इसके बारे में भी हम लोगों को जानकारी मिलती है। गांव में कोदो कुटकी की उन्नत विधि से खेती करने की भी जानकारी दी जाती है और उस कोदो कुटकी के दराई करने के लिए कंपनी में मशीन रखी गई है, जिसमें दीदियों की सहूलियत है। इस कंपनी को मैं बहुत बहुत
Sorry, I realized that quality of video was not so good. This is regarding business of regarding uniqueness of our FPO. Our FPO is of all women, and most of the women are from tribal community, and they are practicing natural farm. They are doing agriculture from natural farming principle, and largely millet is part of their life and their culture. So we don't need to do anything from externally. So this FPO is working on enhancing income of women and obviously impacting their health nutrition status. So in terms of business, this year only we could do a turnover of 42 lakhs. Major commodities are millet, pulses, vegetable, and in vegetable we focused only 2 vegetable, cowpea and tomato in production cluster approach, and we are planning to achieve 1.5 crores turnover in next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. May I now invite Indi Sarvanya Agru Sridhar Producer Company, Vijaypura, Karnataka.
Happy evening all. Myself Siraj B. Pargond. I'm a farmer. I'm representing Indi Organic Millets and Producers Organization, Vijaypur, Karnataka. We have started our FEO May 2021. We are 3,000 farmers group. Presently we are growing both minor and major millets, and we have started working on primary processing, and already we have started selling of our primary basic products to all startups and customers and exporters. We are really ready to serve you all startups to supplying raw materials. If anybody are interested, please let us know. And we are very proud to be part of with this Dubai Expo. Thank you for IMR team and FICI team, especially thanks for Dayakar sir, encourages us like anything. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you all the speakers who made very impressive presentations. And I'm sure that everybody would have gained some knowledge of the various initiatives being taken by the government. So thank you once again. I invite all of you for a high tea outside. Thank you so much.